Life unfolds in ways beyond our understanding, shaping us in the fire of experience, molding us through trials we do not choose. Yet in every challenge there is a hidden hand, guiding, refining, and preparing us for something greater than we can see. When God tests your faith, He is not punishing you, He is awakening you. He is calling you to rise above the illusions of the world, to see beyond your temporary struggle, and to claim the power He has placed within you. There are moments when the path seems uncertain, when doors close and when prayers appear unanswered. Doubt creeps in, whispering that you are alone, abandoned. But God does not leave those whom He calls. He strengthens them. He removes the distractions, the unnecessary attachments, the false beliefs that keep them bound. What feels like loss is in truth a clearing of the old to make way for the new. Faith is not merely believing in what is seen, it is standing firm when everything seems to be against you. It is holding on to the vision God has placed in your heart, even when the world says it is impossible. When Abraham was called to sacrifice his son, it was not a test of loss but of trust. And in that trust, God provided. When Joseph was betrayed, sold into slavery, and imprisoned, it was not the end, but the necessary journey to a greater destiny. Every test was a preparation for his elevation. What if, in this very moment, what appears as difficulty is your greatest invitation to transformation? What if the pain is pushing you toward the breakthrough you have been asking for? God does not test the weak. He refines the strong. He stretches you beyond your comfort so that you may become the vessel capable of holding the blessings He has prepared. The question is not whether the test will come, but how you will respond. Will you collapse under the weight of the challenge, or will you stand firm, knowing that beyond this storm, a new reality awaits? The kingdom of God is within you, and in every trial you are being called to claim it. Do not waver. Do not allow the shadows of doubt to steal your divine inheritance. You are not being broken, you are being built. You are not being forgotten, you are being prepared. Every setback, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer is shaping you for something beyond what you can now comprehend. Trust that when the time is right, the doors will open and you will step into a reality greater than you ever imagined. Of all the mysteries of life, the greatest is this: what you now endure is shaping you for what you have asked for. It may not seem so in the moment. It may feel like the very opposite of what you desire, but consider for a moment that what you call struggle is, in truth, a preparation, a refining, a divine orchestration moving you toward something far beyond what you presently perceive. The mind, bound by appearances, sees loss, delay, and hardship as punishment. It questions, why me? Why must I endure this? But the Spirit knows otherwise. It recognizes that every test of faith is an invitation to transformation. You cannot step into something greater while clinging to what is lesser. You cannot receive the fullness of what God has for you if you are unwilling to release the limitations that confine you. There is a story unfolding in your life, one written before time itself. And in this story, every challenge is not a stop but a step. Every trial not a dead end but a doorway. You are being called to walk by faith, not by sight. The world tells you to trust what is visible, but God calls you to trust what is unseen. He whispers, look beyond the illusion, see with the eyes of faith. Think of the caterpillar confined in the darkness of the cocoon. It knows nothing of the wings it is about to receive. It only knows the struggle, the breaking, the discomfort. And yet, in that very breaking, it is being made new. It does not fight the process, it surrenders to it. It allows itself to be transformed, trusting in what it does not yet understand. And then, in perfect timing, it emerges, not as it once was, but as something entirely new. So it is with you. What feels like a breaking is a becoming. What feels like an ending is a new beginning. God is stretching you, molding you, refining you, not to harm you, but to prepare you. You are being made ready for something greater, something beyond your current imagination, and yet so many resist. They cling to the familiar, fearing what lies ahead. They pray for a new life but resist the very process that brings it forth. What if you stopped resisting? What if, instead of seeing the trial as a curse, you saw it as a calling? What if you understood that the delay is not denial but divine alignment? Every great purpose requires preparation. No seed bears fruit the moment it is planted. There is a season of growth, a time of unseen development beneath the surface. And so it is with you. Think of David, anointed as king, yet sent back to tend the sheep. Did he question why he was not immediately placed on the throne? Did he resist the process? No. He trusted, he prepared. He grew in the quiet places, in the fields where no one was watching. And when the time came, he was ready, not because the opportunity suddenly appeared, but because he had been shaped for it in the waiting. You too are in the fields. You too are being prepared. What you do in this season will determine how you step into the next. Will you grow in faith, or will you allow doubt to take root? Will you trust the process, or will you resist what is necessary for your elevation? God does not waste seasons. Every trial, every setback, every unanswered prayer is part of the divine plan. You may not understand it now, but one day you will look back and see how every moment was leading you to something greater. The pain was not wasted. The delay was not a mistake. The rejection was not a failure. It was all preparation. There is a version of you that already exists, the version that has stepped into the promise, the blessing, the fulfillment of what you have prayed for. But to become that person, you must first shed what no longer serves you. You cannot take old habits into a new season. You cannot carry doubt into a place of faith. You must be transformed. And transformation is never comfortable. It requires surrender, it demands trust, it calls for faith that goes beyond what you can see. When the storm rages, faith says, "This too shall pass." When doors close, faith says, "Something greater is coming." When all seems lost, faith says, "God is still in control." You were never meant to remain where you are. You were created for more, but more requires growth. It requires testing. It requires walking through the fire and coming out refined. Look at the great figures of faith. None of them stepped into their calling without first being tested. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before leading a nation. Joseph endured betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment before ruling in Egypt. Job lost everything before receiving double for his trouble. What you see as a delay is in fact divine development. What you see as a struggle is the strengthening of your spirit. God is not punishing you, He is preparing you. He is molding you into someone who can carry the weight of the blessing that is coming. If you received it now, unprepared, it would crush you. But in due time, when the work is complete, when your faith is unshaken, you will step into what has been prepared for you since the beginning. Do not let temporary trials steal your eternal promise. Do not let the lies of the enemy convince you that God has forgotten you. He has not. He is working even now in the unseen, in the quiet places where faith is forged. What you believe in this season will determine what you step into in the next. Will you trust the process? Will you stand firm in faith? Will you surrender to the work being done within you? If you knew what was coming, you would not doubt. If you could see what God has prepared, you would not fear. You would stand in confidence, knowing that every test is simply proof that you are being positioned for something greater. The pain is temporary, the struggle is momentary, but the promise is eternal. Hold on, trust, believe. You are being prepared for something far greater than you could ever imagine. As you walk through the journey of life, there are moments when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing against you, when every step feels heavier than the last, and when the promises you've believed in seem distant and unreachable. But I want you to understand this truth. It is in these very moments, in the depths of the struggle, that the greatest transformation is taking place. The world may not see it, but within you there is a deep work occurring, preparing you for the magnitude of what God has planned for your future. When you find yourself standing in the fire, feeling like you cannot endure any longer, remember that the fire is not there to consume you, it is there to purify you. Gold does not shine with its full brilliance until it has been through the furnace, purified by heat and refined by pressure. The pressure you feel today is not a sign that you are being broken. It is a sign that you are being made stronger, more resilient, and more capable of carrying the weight of your dreams. Think of a seed buried deep within the soil. It cannot see the sunlight, it cannot breathe the fresh air, and it cannot feel the warmth that is promised. But in the darkness of the earth, something miraculous is happening. It is growing, it is preparing itself to break through the surface and reach for the light. It does not yet know the greatness it will become, but it trusts the process. It trusts the unseen hand that is guiding its every move. Just as the seed undergoes a silent transformation, so too are you being transformed in the unseen. What seems like a season of hardship is in truth a season of growth. When your faith is tested, God is not simply watching from a distance, waiting to see if you will falter. He is actively working within you, refining you, shaping you into someone who can carry the weight of the dreams He has placed in your heart. These dreams are not small, they are not fleeting, they are big, they are eternal, and they are worth the struggle. But you cannot carry such dreams in your current state. There is a preparation that must happen, there is a breaking that must occur. And yet in the breaking you will find your strength. The storms you are weathering are not to destroy you, but to fortify you. They are molding your character, teaching you endurance, patience, and the kind of trust that can only be developed in the wilderness. The trials you face today are teaching you to stand firm, not in your own strength, but in the strength of the one who is carrying you through. He does not test you to harm you. He tests you to equip you for what lies ahead. You may not understand the process, and you may even question the timing, but trust that God's timing is perfect. There are moments when it feels like God is silent, when your prayers seem to fall on deaf ears, when it seems as though He has forgotten you. But that silence is not abandonment. It is a sacred moment of preparation. In the quiet, God is working on your behalf, arranging circumstances, opening doors, and preparing your heart. Just as the seed must remain in the soil in order to grow, so must you remain steadfast in faith, trusting that the unseen work is happening even when you cannot see it. When you encounter obstacles, do not see them as barriers. See them as stepping stones. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, to build your faith, and to draw closer to the one who is guiding you. You are not meant to remain where you are meant for greater things. And every test you face is moving you closer to that greater purpose. Think of the great leaders, the great men and women of faith throughout history. They did not achieve greatness without first enduring hardship. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, but before he could do that, he spent years in the desert learning humility, patience, and trust in God's provision. David was anointed king, but before he took the throne, he was a shepherd, alone in the fields, learning the lessons that would make him a great king. Joseph was given dreams of greatness, but before he could see them fulfilled, he was sold into slavery, thrown into prison, and betrayed by those closest to him. Each of these individuals faced trials, and each of them was refined in the fire of their circumstances. They emerged stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the purpose that awaited them. You are no different. The struggles you are facing today are preparing you for the greatness that God has in store for you. You may not see it now, but everything you are going through is a necessary part of the process. The pain you feel is not punishment. It is a preparation. The waiting you are enduring is not wasted time. It is a time of refinement. Every tear you shed, every moment of frustration, every time you feel as though you cannot go on, it is all part of the divine plan, shaping you, preparing you, and positioning you for something far greater than you can imagine. When you feel like giving up, when you feel like your faith is wavering, remember that you are in the midst of something bigger. You are not just enduring, you are being prepared. The dream God has placed in your heart is not just for today, but for the future. And the future requires a different you. It requires a version of you who is strong, steadfast, and fully capable of handling the blessings that are coming your way. Every great dream requires sacrifice. Every vision requires preparation. Every promise requires a season of testing. But these tests are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. They are meant to shape you into the person who can handle the fullness of God's blessing. You are being prepared to step into a future that is far greater than your current reality. There will be moments when you question everything. You will wonder if the dreams you hold in your heart will ever come to pass. You will wonder if the pain and the waiting are worth it. But remember, the process is as important as the promise. The trials you face today are forming you into the person you must become in order to fulfill your purpose. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust that God is preparing you for something beyond what you can see right now. You are not alone in this. God is with you every step of the way, even when you cannot feel His presence. His hand is guiding you, His love is surrounding you, and His purpose is unfolding in your life. The trials you face are not evidence of God's absence, they are evidence of His faithfulness. He is with you in the struggle, He is with you in the silence, and He is with you in the waiting. And when the time is right, He will bring you into the fullness of what He has prepared for you. Do not fear the tests that come your way. They are not here to destroy you, they are here to build you. Do not fear the waiting, it is the time of preparation. The greater the test, the greater the blessing. You are being shaped, molded, and refined for something bigger than you can even comprehend. Hold on to your faith, stand firm in your belief, trust the process. The best is yet to come. There will be times when you feel completely overwhelmed by the weight of your circumstances, when the dreams you hold so dear seem impossibly distant, and when doubt begins to creep into your mind. You may feel as though you're stuck, as though no matter what you do, the path ahead remains unclear. But even in these moments of confusion, understand that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of your life with divine precision. He sees the bigger picture, and though you cannot yet see it, He is preparing you for something far greater than you could ever imagine. Faith is not simply believing when things are going well. Anyone can do that. True faith is standing firm when everything around you seems to be falling apart. It is trusting in the unseen, knowing that God is at work even when the evidence isn't immediately visible. Your faith is being tested not to break you, but to strengthen you. The challenges and obstacles you face are the proving grounds for your faith, and each trial is an opportunity for you to deepen your trust in God, ability to bring you through, no matter how impossible the circumstances may seem. Consider the process of growing a tree. The seed is planted deep in the earth, hidden from the world. It is buried in darkness, subjected to pressure, and forced to push its way through the soil. The seed doesn't know exactly when it will break through the surface, but it trusts the process. It knows that in time the sunlight will touch it, and it will grow tall, strong, and fruitful. You too are like that seed. Even though you cannot see the results yet, even though the process feels slow and painful, God is working in the hidden places, preparing you to burst forth into the fullness of His purpose for your life. In these moments of pressure, it's easy to become discouraged. You may wonder why God is allowing you to experience such hardship, but it's important to recognize that the struggle is not the end of the story. It is merely a part of the journey. The storm will pass, and you will emerge stronger, more refined, and more capable of carrying the dreams and responsibilities that God has entrusted to you. Every challenge you face is shaping you into the person you are destined to become. The process of testing, though difficult, is a necessary part of your growth. Without it, you would not be prepared for what lies ahead. When you face a test, it's easy to want to rush through it, to find a way out or to escape the discomfort. But understand this: God is not interested in giving you an easy way out. He is interested in your transformation. The obstacles you face are not punishments, but opportunities for growth. They are opportunities for you to trust Him more deeply, to lean on His strength, and to discover just how much you are capable of when you surrender fully to His will. The greater the test, the greater the strength you will gain. There is a divine purpose behind everything that happens in your life, even the trials. God does not waste a single moment of your journey. Every hardship, every challenge, and every moment of waiting is part of His perfect plan for your life. When God tests your faith, He is refining you, purifying you, and preparing you for something far greater than you can currently understand. It's in these moments of testing that you discover the depths of your own strength, your own perseverance, and your own capacity for faith. But the testing of your faith is not just for you, it is also for the people around you. Your testimony, your ability to stand firm in the face of adversity will serve as a powerful example to others. When they see you endure through hardship with grace and unwavering trust in God, they will be inspired. Your journey will become a living testimony to the power of God's faithfulness, and it will encourage others to hold on to their faith, even when their own trials seem insurmountable. The faith you build in the fire will not only prepare you for your own breakthrough, but will also inspire a generation to trust in God's timing and His provision. In the midst of the tests and trials, it's important to keep your eyes on the promise, not the problem. When you focus on the problem, it becomes magnified and your faith begins to shrink. But when you focus on the promise, when you set your heart on the truth that God is for you and not against you, your faith grows. The promises of God are yes and amen, and they will not fail. His word is true, and He will bring to pass everything He has spoken over your life. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, even when the journey seems long and difficult, trust that He is working in ways that you cannot see. His timing is perfect, and His plans for you are far greater than your own. The testing of your faith is not just about what you are going through now, but about what is coming next. God is preparing you for the next level, for the next season of your life, and for the greater purpose He has ordained for you. There are people waiting for you to step into your destiny, and there are opportunities waiting for you to seize. But before you can walk into those things, you must first be prepared. You must first be refined. You must first be made ready to carry the weight of the blessing that is coming your way. And so when you face the testing of your faith, don't see it as a setback. Don't see it as a sign that God has abandoned you or forgotten you. See it as an invitation to grow, to become more of the person you were always meant to be. The testing is not the end of the story. It is a pivotal moment in your journey, one that will propel you forward into the fullness of God's plan for your life. Every test you face is a step toward your breakthrough. Every trial is a lesson in trust, in perseverance, and in surrender. And as you grow through these tests, you will find that your faith becomes unshakable, your confidence in God becomes unmovable, and your ability to stand firm in His promises becomes unyielding. When God tests your faith, He is preparing you to take hold of the future He has promised you. Trust the process, trust His timing, and trust that He is preparing you for something far greater than you can even imagine. God has not forgotten you. He sees your pain, your struggle, and your heart's deepest desires. He is not blind to your tears, nor is He deaf to your cries. He hears you, and He is moving on your behalf. The testing of your faith is not a sign that you are far from His love. It is a sign that He is preparing you for something beautiful. Trust in the process, hold fast to your faith, and know that God is making you ready for the greatness that is to come. The best is yet to be revealed. Every trial, every difficulty, and every obstacle you face serves a divine purpose. You are not being tested to break you, but to build you. Each test is a step closer to the destiny God has placed before you. And though the path may feel uncertain and the road may seem long, trust that every single experience is preparing you for what lies ahead. There's a certain divine wisdom in the way God works, a divine logic that doesn't always align with our human understanding. In the natural world, we often equate pain with punishment, struggle with failure, and hardship with something we need to avoid at all costs. But in God's kingdom, it's different. The way He operates is counterintuitive. The very things we try to avoid are often the tools He uses to refine us. The pressure you feel, the difficulty you face, and the discomfort in your soul are all shaping you. They are removing the parts of you that cannot carry the weight of what is coming. The fire doesn't destroy the gold, it purifies it. The struggle doesn't crush your spirit, it strengthens it. What you might perceive as a setback is actually a setup for what's to come. When God tests your faith, He is stretching you, pulling you into a place of growth that you wouldn't reach without the challenges. Think of it as a muscle. If you want your muscles to grow stronger, you must first strain them. You must challenge them, push them beyond their normal limits, and only then do they grow. Similarly, your faith must be stretched. It must be tested, and it's in the stretching, in the breaking, that you are made whole. But remember, the stretching is temporary. The breakthrough, the growth, the transformation, these are permanent. Each test, no matter how daunting, is simply an opportunity to step into a higher level of faith, a deeper trust in God's plans for your life. You cannot see it now, but when you are on the other side of this test, you will look back and realize that everything you went through was necessary to bring you to the place where you are meant to be. It's important to remember that the trials you face are not a reflection of God's disfavor. They are a part of His plan to bring you closer to the fullness of His purpose for your life. You may not feel it now, but you are being shaped and molded in the fire of life. Your faith is being refined, made pure, and prepared to withstand the greatness that is about to unfold. When you find yourself in the midst of a storm, don't lose heart. Know that the storm is not there to destroy you, it is there to help you grow. The winds may be howling, the rain may be pouring down, and you may feel as though you're sinking beneath the waves, but in reality, the storm is part of your transformation. It's helping you learn to stand firm, to trust in the God who controls the wind and the waves, and to find peace in the midst of chaos. You are not walking this journey alone. Though the road may seem long and the way unclear, God is with you every step of the way. He has not left you to face these trials on your own. He is the one who is holding your hand, guiding your steps, and leading you through every difficulty. When you feel weak, He will be your strength. When you feel lost, He will be your compass. When you feel weary, He will be your rest. Trust that God's presence is with you, even in the hardest of moments. In fact, it's often in the darkest moments of our lives that God's presence becomes the most real. When everything else seems uncertain, when we've tried all we can and still see no way forward, that's when God steps in. That's when He shows us that He has been with us all along, that He's been preparing us, strengthening us, and equipping us for the very moment we find ourselves in. And when the breakthrough finally comes, when you step into the fullness of your purpose, you look back and see how every test, every challenge, and every difficulty was part of God's perfect plan. You see, the testing of your faith is not just about you, it's about the impact you will have on others. Your journey, your perseverance, and your eventual victory will serve as a testimony to those around you. It will show them that God is faithful, that His promises are true, and that no matter how dark the night may seem, joy comes in the morning. You are being shaped not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of others. Your faith is a light that will shine brightly for others to see. Your victory will be a beacon of hope to those who are walking through their own struggles. And when you stand firm in your faith, when you trust God through the hard times, you will find that your faith becomes unshakable. You will develop a resilience that nothing can break. No matter how many storms come, no matter how many obstacles rise up, you will know that you are standing on a firm foundation. Your faith will be like a tree planted by the water, unmoved by the winds and the storms of life. The tests may be hard, but the reward is worth it. The struggle may be long, but the victory is sweeter. And when you finally see the manifestation of all that God has promised you, you will understand why the test was necessary. You will see that every step, every struggle, every moment of doubt was a part of God's greater plan for your life. It's important to remember that God is always with you, even when it feels like He's silent. He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything in your favor. And even when the way seems unclear, know that He has a purpose for everything. Trust in His plan. Trust in His timing. Trust that He is working all things together for your good. The greater the test, the greater the blessing, the greater the trial, the greater the breakthrough. Every time you rise above the difficulties, every time you stand firm in your faith, you are becoming more and more aligned with God's divine purpose for your life. You are being prepared for something bigger, something greater than you could ever imagine. And when the time comes, when the door opens and when the promise is fulfilled, you will look back and see how perfectly everything fits together. God does not waste a single moment of your life. Every hardship, every trial, every test is an opportunity for you to grow, to become more like Him, and to step into the greatness that He has in store for you. Your faith is being tested now, not because God wants to see you fail, but because He is preparing you for the success, the victory, and the breakthrough that is ahead. So hold on and don't let go. Trust in the process. Know that every test is making you stronger, making you more prepared, and making you more equipped to handle the blessings that are coming your way. You are being prepared for something bigger, something greater, something beyond your wildest dreams. And when you look back, you will realize that every step, every struggle, every moment of faith was worth it. As you stand in the midst of your journey, remember that every trial, every test, and every challenge is not a sign of defeat, but a divine preparation for the greatness ahead. Trust that God is molding you, shaping you, and strengthening you for something far beyond what you can see. His ways are not always clear in the moment, but His plan is always perfect, and His love for you is unwavering. Embrace the tests that come your way, knowing that they are stepping stones to the fulfillment of your purpose. Be patient in the process, knowing that every moment is leading you closer to the manifestation of your divine destiny. And when you finally reach the place He has prepared for you, you will look back in awe and gratitude for the challenges that made you who you are. Keep your faith strong, trust in God's timing, and never forget that He is preparing you for something bigger, something greater. You are being shaped for the extraordinary, and the best is yet to come. Stay faithful, stay strong, and know that God is with you every step of the way. There is a power within you, a force that shapes your reality, a divine presence that knows no limits. Yet in this world of appearances, you may find yourself facing trials that seem unbearable, challenges that press upon you like an unrelenting storm. The mind, conditioned by fear, whispers that you are alone, that suffering is your portion. But I tell you, do not be deceived by the outer world, for what you see now is but a shadow of what is to come. Endure, not with despair, but with the unshakable faith that all things are working together for your good. The pain you feel today is not punishment, it is preparation. Every hardship, every disappointment, every tear is carving out a space within you for something greater. Do not resist the process. Trust that your suffering is not in vain. What seems like an ending is often the beginning of transformation. When the weight of the world bears down upon you, when it seems as though you have been abandoned, remember this: God is with you, not as a distant figure in the sky, but as the very life within you. He is the dreamer, and you are His dream. What you hold in your heart, in the silence of your soul, is already forming in the unseen, but you must persist. You must endure the night to see the dawn. Do not look to the world for evidence of your deliverance. The world only reflects what you believe. If you accept the illusion of suffering as permanent, it will be so. But if you dare to believe that a greater reality exists beyond what your eyes can see, then even now, in the midst of your pain, you can begin to feel the shift. You can begin to see the unseen. Faith is not pleading for change. Faith is knowing that change is inevitable. It is the conviction that even in the darkest valley, the light has already come. It is the quiet assurance that your present trials are the soil from which your future joy will spring. Do not ask how it will happen. Do not seek proof from the world around you. Simply accept deep within that your life is already transforming, and hold to that truth with unwavering faith. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the whispers of the world try to tell you that nothing is changing. Stand firm. Speak not of lack, but of abundance. Speak not of pain, but of healing. Speak not of despair, but of victory. For as you think in your heart, so shall it be. The path of endurance is not easy, but it is necessary. The struggle is not a sign of defeat, but of refining. Just as gold is purified by fire, so too is your soul being prepared for something greater. Every pain you endure with faith is molding you into the person who can receive the blessing that is already yours. You are not forgotten, you are not forsaken. The very presence of your desire for change is the evidence that change is possible. For God does not place dreams in your heart without the means to fulfill them. Align yourself with this truth. Walk as though your suffering has already ended. Speak as though your breakthrough has already come. Feel deep within the reality of the life you long for and hold to it with an unshakable grip. All things are being made new. The pain of today is birthing the joy of tomorrow. Stand firm, believe, endure. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. The moment you accept this, the moment you surrender to the unseen reality of your deliverance, the world around you will shift, and you will step into the life that has been waiting for you all along. The journey of transformation is not for the faint of heart. It requires a steadfast spirit, a mind anchored in truth, and a heart that refuses to bow to appearances. The world may tell you that suffering is endless, that pain defines your existence, but that is only true if you accept it. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are not bound by the conditions of the world. You are a creator, a vessel through which divine power flows, and the pain you endure now is shaping you into the person who will rise beyond these trials. There is no meaningless suffering. Every moment of hardship is refining you, stripping away the illusions that have held you captive, revealing the strength that has always been within you. If you would only look beyond the surface, beyond the temporary discomfort, you would see the hand of God at work in your life. He is not absent in your suffering, He is present within it, using every tear, every wound, every disappointment to mold you into the vessel of His divine plan. Do not fight against the process, embrace it. Surrender to the knowing that you are being prepared for something far greater than what you can see. What you endure today is not your final destination. It is merely a passageway, a bridge between what was and what will be. The pain you feel is a sign that you are in transition. Just as the seed must first be buried in darkness before it can break through the soil and reach the light, so too must you endure the hidden work before your transformation is revealed. Do not be discouraged by the silence, by the waiting, by the uncertainty. What you perceive as delay is often divine timing at work. Trust that all things are aligning in your favor, even when it seems otherwise. There is power in endurance, in holding on to faith when everything around you suggests that hope is lost. The world may mock your belief, it may try to convince you that suffering is all there is, but the world only reflects the thoughts you choose to entertain. If you yield to despair, you will see only evidence of despair. But if you choose faith, if you hold steadfast to the knowing that your situation is changing, then that is what must come to pass. The law is unbreakable. What you accept as true within must manifest without. Your words hold power. Your thoughts create reality. What you affirm in the silence of your mind is what you will experience in the world. If you continue to say, I am suffering, I am lost, I am broken, then suffering will follow you, not because you are meant for pain, but because you have chosen to identify with it. Instead, speak life into your situation. Declare, even in the face of despair, I am being restored, I am healed, I am whole. Do not wait for the evidence to appear before you believe it. Believe first, and the evidence will follow. There will be moments when you feel weak, when the weight of your burden seems too great to carry. In those moments, remember that you do not endure alone. You are not abandoned. God is within you, closer than your very breath, guiding you through the fire, ensuring that you emerge refined and victorious. Even when you cannot see the way forward, trust that there is a way, that the path is unfolding with perfect precision. The circumstances of your life do not define you. Your response to them does. You have the power to rise above, to endure with grace, to walk through the storm knowing that the sun will shine again. No trial lasts forever. No night is without end. Even in the darkest hour, the light is already on its way. Hold fast to that truth. Do not let the present moment deceive you into thinking that this is all there is. Endurance is not about passively accepting suffering. It is about standing firm in the face of it, knowing that it is temporary, that it is shaping you, that it is leading you toward the fulfillment of all you desire. If you can persist through the pain, if you can refuse to be moved by what you see, if you can hold on to the unseen reality of your victory, then you will emerge from this stronger, wiser, and unshakable. The divine plan for your life is not one of endless struggle. It is one of abundance, peace, and joy, but the path to that life requires faith, and faith is tested in the fire of endurance. If you can believe in the midst of suffering, if you can hold on to your vision even when everything around you suggests otherwise, then nothing will be impossible for you. The world will tell you that change is slow, that transformation is difficult, that some pains never heal. But the world is mistaken. The moment you shift your inner world, your outer world must follow. The change is not coming from outside of you, it is coming from within. You must train yourself to see beyond the illusion of hardship. You must discipline your mind to hold on to the vision of what is to come, even when the world tries to convince you otherwise. The pain you feel is real, but it is not permanent. The suffering you endure may seem overwhelming, but it is not your destiny. You were created for more. The dreams in your heart were placed there for a reason, and they are within your reach if you can endure long enough to claim them. There is a version of you on the other side of this struggle, a version of you who has overcome, who has risen, who has stepped into the fullness of their power. That version of you is calling out, urging you to keep going, to not give up, to trust that every challenge is leading you closer to the life you were meant to live. You must walk by faith, not by sight. You must speak life into your situation even when everything around you appears lifeless. You must believe, not because the world gives you reason to, but because faith is the only way to bring forth what you desire. The power that created the universe dwells within you. The same force that set the stars in motion, that called light into existence, is at work in your life right now. There is no force greater than this. There is no struggle too great, no pain too deep, no situation too hopeless that it cannot be transformed. But you must do your part. You must stand firm. You must endure. You must believe that even in this very moment, your breakthrough is unfolding. Every tear you have shed, every moment of doubt, every sleepless night has not been in vain. The struggle has been preparing you, molding you, refining you for something beyond your imagination. Do not let this moment of pain cause you to lose sight of the promise that is already yours. It is closer than you think. It is waiting for you to claim it. Walk forward in faith, hold on to the vision, endure, knowing that the pain you feel today is the foundation of the joy you will experience tomorrow. God is not ignoring your pain, He is using it. He is shaping you into someone who can carry the blessing that is coming. Trust in this. Trust that all things are working together for your good. Trust that your suffering is not the end of your story. Trust that you are on the path to something far greater than what you have known. Keep going, keep believing, keep enduring. The transformation has already begun. The transformation is already happening within you, even if you cannot see it yet. The pain you feel is not a sign of defeat, it is a sign of rebirth. Just as a caterpillar must endure the darkness of the cocoon before it emerges as a butterfly, you too are in the process of becoming. The discomfort you feel is proof that change is taking place. If you would only hold on a little longer, if you would refuse to give in to despair, you would witness the miracle unfolding in your life. Pain is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to awaken you. It is meant to push you beyond your limitations, to strip away the false beliefs that have kept you bound. Every tear you shed is watering the ground for your future harvest. Every challenge you face is shaping you into the person who will walk in victory. There is nothing wasted in God's plan. Even the suffering you endure now is serving a greater purpose. You may not understand it in this moment, but one day you will look back and see that every trial was necessary to bring you to where you were always meant to be. You must not allow pain to harden your heart. Do not let suffering convince you that you are alone, that you are forgotten, that you are unworthy of love and happiness. Those are lies, whispered by fear, by doubt, by the illusion of separation. You are never alone. The presence of God is always within you, guiding you, strengthening you, reminding you that this season is temporary. The enemy would have you believe that you will never overcome, that your suffering is endless, that there is no escape. But that is a deception. The truth is that even in this moment, the way is being made for you. Even in the silence, God is moving on your behalf. You must train your mind to see beyond the present moment. You must learn to speak life, even when you feel surrounded by death. Every thought you think, every word you speak is shaping the world around you. If you say, I am broken, I am lost, I am hopeless, then that is what you will experience. But if you declare, I am whole, I am strong, I am victorious, then the universe will align to make it so. Do not wait for the evidence before you believe. Believe first, and the evidence will follow. Faith is not about seeing with your physical eyes, it is about knowing with your spirit. It is about trusting in what cannot yet be seen, holding on to the unseen reality of your breakthrough. This is where most people fall. They look at their circumstances, they see no change, and they give up. They allow the illusion of delay to convince them that nothing is happening. But delay is not denial. Just because you do not see movement does not mean that things are not shifting in your favor. Think of the seed buried beneath the soil. For days, weeks, even months, nothing appears to be happening. But beneath the surface, the seed is breaking open, sending roots deep into the ground, preparing for the moment when it will finally break through. If you were to judge it too soon, you might say it was dead, that nothing was changing. But in reality, the most important work was happening in the unseen. This is how faith works. You must trust that even when nothing seems to be happening, everything is happening. Your situation is not permanent. The pain you feel is not eternal, but you must endure long enough to see the manifestation of what has already been set in motion. Most people give up just before their breakthrough. They surrender to doubt in the final hour, right before the door opens. Do not be one of them. Hold on a little longer. Stand firm in the knowing that what is meant for you cannot be taken from you. It is already yours, waiting for you to claim it, with unwavering faith. God is not punishing you, He is preparing you. If the blessing were given to you too soon, you would not be ready to carry it. The weight of your destiny requires strength, resilience, endurance. Every hardship you endure is adding to your strength, refining your character, ensuring that when the time comes, you will not only receive your blessing, but be able to sustain it. Trust that God's timing is perfect. Trust that everything is happening exactly as it should. Stop resisting the process. Stop wishing away the pain. Instead, lean into it. Let it teach you. Let it refine you. Let it strip away everything that is not aligned with the person you are becoming. There is no resurrection without the cross. There is no crown without the battle. There is no victory without the endurance of the storm. If you can walk through this fire with faith, you will emerge unshaken, untouchable, transformed. Your destiny is not found in comfort. It is forged in adversity. The strongest warriors are not made in times of peace, but in the midst of battle. Every hardship is a training ground, equipping you with the wisdom, the strength, and the power to walk fully in your purpose. Do not resent the struggle. Embrace it, knowing that it is preparing you for something greater than you could ever imagine. The pain you feel today will be the testimony you share tomorrow. The suffering you endure now will be the story that inspires someone else to keep going. Nothing is wasted in God's plan. Every experience, every tear, every sleepless night is being used for your good. Even this, even now, is working in your favor. But you must endure, you must believe, you must refuse to be moved by appearances. The world will tell you that you are foolish for having faith, that you are wasting your time believing in something you cannot see. Do not listen. The world operates on doubt, but you are not of this world. You are of God, and with Him all things are possible. Hold on to this truth. Let it be the foundation upon which you stand. Let it be the light that guides you through the darkness. Let it be the anchor that keeps you steady when the storm rages around you. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you have been led to believe. The Spirit of the Almighty dwells within you. There is no obstacle too great, no pain too deep, no challenge too overwhelming that it cannot be overcome. But you must endure. You must hold on. You must trust that what is coming is greater than what has been. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Nothing is out of place. Even this moment of suffering is part of the divine plan. Trust in this. Trust in the process. Trust in yourself. You are on the path to something extraordinary. Keep going, keep believing, keep enduring. The best is yet to come. You are standing in the midst of a transformation that your eyes cannot yet perceive. The circumstances may seem unchanged. The struggle may feel endless. But deep within the unseen, something is shifting. The very fabric of reality is bending in your favor, aligning with the vision you hold in your heart. But this is where the test lies. Will you endure the darkness long enough to witness the light? Will you trust in the unseen even when everything around you screams otherwise? Most people do not realize that their trials are evidence of their impending breakthrough. The moment of greatest resistance is often the moment before the floodgates open. The struggle, the pain, the waiting, these are not signs of failure. They are the final contractions before birth. A woman in labor does not stop pushing because the pain intensifies. She knows that the very fact that the pain is increasing means that new life is about to emerge. In the same way, what you are enduring is not the end of your story. It is the birthing pains of a new beginning. The mind will try to convince you that suffering is a sign that you should give up. It will whisper that if God truly loved you, He would not allow you to go through such hardships. But this is a misunderstanding of divine love. True love refines, strengthens, and prepares. It does not leave you where you are, it calls you higher. It stretches you beyond your limits, not to break you, but to show you the depth of your own power. You may not understand why you are being tested in this way. You may question why the path is so difficult, why the answers seem delayed, why the pain lingers longer than expected. But know this, God does not waste anything. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt is being used to shape you into the person who can receive what you have been praying for. Faith is not merely believing when things are easy. Faith is standing firm when everything appears to be falling apart. It is declaring victory when all you see is struggle. It is holding on to the promise even when the reality before you suggests otherwise. Most people give up too soon. They abandon their dreams, their visions, their prayers because the journey feels too long, too uncertain. They surrender to fear in the final moments before the breakthrough. But you are not like them. You were not created to quit. You were not called to live in defeat. You are meant to walk in victory, to rise above circumstances, to endure with unwavering confidence in the promise of what is to come. There is power in persistence. There is strength in endurance. Every great victory in history was won by those who refused to surrender to temporary discomfort. Do not be fooled by the illusion of delay. What is yours is already making its way to you. It is not a question of if, it is only a question of when. And in the waiting, you are being molded into the person who will know how to hold onto the blessing once it arrives. If you could see with spiritual eyes, you would know that your future is already secure. You would know that the struggles of today will be the testimonies of tomorrow. You would recognize that even now you are being prepared for something far greater than you imagined. But you must endure. You must trust. You must refuse to let the temporary challenges shake your belief in the eternal promise. God is moving even in the silence. He is working even when you cannot perceive it. The greatest transformations often happen in the hidden places, beneath the surface, beyond the realm of human sight. Just as the roots of a tree grow deep into the earth before its branches stretch toward the sky, your foundation is being strengthened before your blessings manifest. If you were given everything too soon, you would not be able to sustain it. But in this waiting, in this refining, you are being prepared to carry the weight of the greatness that is destined for you. You must learn to rejoice even in the pain. You must train your spirit to see beyond the present discomfort and recognize that you are being guided towards something extraordinary. The enemy wants you to believe that your suffering is meaningless. He wants you to feel abandoned, forgotten, hopeless, but the truth is the opposite. You are never alone. You have never been forsaken. Even in your lowest moments, you are held in divine hands. Even when you feel weakest, you are being strengthened in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Do not let fear dictate your future. Do not allow doubt to steal your destiny. You are closer than you think. The doors that have been closed will open. The prayers that have seemed unanswered are already in motion. The transformation that you have been waiting for is unfolding in perfect timing. Your only task is to endure, to stand firm, to refuse to let go of your faith. Everything you have been through has been leading you to this moment. Every trial, every heartbreak, every disappointment has been preparing you for the manifestation of what has always been yours. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to surrender to despair. You must rise. You must keep believing. You must keep moving forward, knowing that what is meant for you is already on its way. Your victory is inevitable. Your breakthrough is assured. But you must endure long enough to see it. Keep going, keep trusting, keep believing. The best is not behind you, it is ahead of you. And if you can hold on just a little longer, you will witness the fulfillment of every promise spoken over your life. You are walking through the fire, but you will not be consumed. You may feel the heat, but it is not meant to destroy you. It is refining you, strengthening you, purifying you for what is ahead. The trials you are facing are not signs of defeat. They are the proving ground of your faith. Every struggle, every hardship, every moment of pain is shaping you into the person who is ready to receive what you have been praying for. Most people misunderstand pain. They see it as a punishment, as something to be avoided at all costs. But pain is often the doorway to transformation. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without struggle, there is no strength. Look at the trees that stand the tallest. They have endured the strongest winds. Look at the rivers that carve through mountains. They have persisted through every obstacle in their path. Your life is no different. The very struggles you face today are shaping you into something greater than you can imagine. God is not ignoring your prayers. He is answering them in ways that your human eyes cannot yet see. He is aligning everything in divine order, ensuring that what is meant for you will not only come, but will come in the fullness of time. But before the blessing arrives, you must become the person who is able to sustain it. A child cannot be given the keys to a kingdom before he has learned how to rule. A seed does not sprout overnight. It must first break through the darkness of the soil, sending its roots deep before it ever reaches the light. And so it is with you. The delay is not a denial, it is a preparation. The pain is not pointless, it is making you stronger. The waiting is not wasted, it is working in your favor. Everything that is happening right now is designed to take you higher, to expand your faith, to deepen your trust. Do not resist the process. Do not allow discouragement to steal your destiny. The very thing that seems to be breaking you is actually making you. Most people do not realize that they are their own greatest obstacle. They allow fear to take root in their minds. They let doubt cloud their vision. They give up too soon, thinking that because the path is difficult, it must not be meant for them. But nothing great is ever achieved without endurance. The greatest victories come to those who refuse to surrender, who keep moving forward even when everything inside them is telling them to quit. You must make a decision today. Will you trust in the seen or in the unseen? Will you place your faith in what your physical eyes can perceive, or will you believe in the promises that have been spoken over your life? Faith is not about seeing, it is about knowing. It is about standing firm when everything around you is shaking. It is about believing that even in the silence, God is working. Even in the pain, He is present. Even in the struggle, He is making a way. Your circumstances may not change overnight, but that does not mean the change is not happening. The shift begins within you first. Before anything manifests in your external reality, it must first be conceived in your mind. You must see yourself victorious before the victory arrives. You must feel the joy before the breakthrough comes. You must walk as if the promise is already fulfilled, because in the realm of the unseen it is. The world will tell you to quit. It will tell you that you are foolish to keep believing, that your dreams are impossible, that your faith is in vain. But the world does not understand the power of the unseen. It does not know that reality bends to those who refuse to surrender. It does not realize that faith is the force that moves mountains, that creates something out of nothing, that turns the impossible into the inevitable. The pain you are experiencing is temporary, but the strength it is producing in you is eternal. You are being built for something greater than you can comprehend. You are being shaped for a destiny beyond your imagination. Every tear, every disappointment, every moment of struggle is adding to the foundation of your future. You may not see it now, but one day you will look back and realize that every challenge was necessary, every setback was part of the plan, every delay was a divine setup for something greater. God does not call you to a life of struggle without purpose. He does not lead you into the fire without intending to bring you out refined. He is not the author of confusion, He is the author of transformation. And right now, in this very moment, He is working all things together for your good. Your pain is not wasted, your suffering is not unseen. Every challenge is a stepping stone to your breakthrough. Most people want the promise without the process. They want the reward without the refinement. But true elevation requires endurance. The people who rise above, the people who see their dreams fulfilled, the people who walk in divine favor, are those who refused to give up when it was hard. They endured when others quit. They believed when others doubted. They held on when others let go. And because of that, they received what was always meant for them. You are closer than you think. The breakthrough is nearer than it appears. What you have been waiting for is already in motion. But you must endure a little longer, you must trust a little deeper, you must hold on a little tighter. Everything is unfolding in perfect time, exactly as it should. And when the moment comes, when the blessing arrives, when the struggle turns into victory, you will understand why you had to go through this season. So keep going, keep believing, keep trusting. The best is not behind you, it is ahead of you, and it is coming faster than you think. Pain is not your enemy. It is not the sign of your downfall, but the shaping of your destiny. In the silence of suffering, God is at work, molding you into something far greater than you can imagine. Do not fear pain. Do not resist it. Instead, embrace it as the hand of the divine, preparing you for the transformation that is already in motion. You see, what you call struggle is merely the process of refinement. Like gold purified by fire, your pain is not here to break you, but to remove the impurities that keep you from stepping into your true power. Every tear you have shed, every moment of doubt, every betrayal, every rejection, it is all serving a greater purpose. You may not see it now, but faith does not require sight. Faith is knowing that even in the darkest hour, God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating every event to lead you to the life He has prepared for you. When your body is weary, when your soul cries out for relief, remember this: endurance is the key to your victory. The enemy would have you believe that pain is a sign of abandonment, that God has forgotten you. But the truth is, your suffering is a divine signal that you are being positioned for something extraordinary. The struggle is evidence that you are on the verge of breakthrough. It is in the crushing that the fragrance of the anointing is released. It is in the breaking that the blessing is revealed. You must hold on. Even when everything around you suggests defeat, hold on. Even when your prayers seem to go unanswered, hold on. Do not mistake delay for denial. Do not allow temporary discomfort to make you abandon eternal promises. God has not forsaken you. He is teaching you endurance, strengthening your faith, stretching your capacity to receive. If you let pain defeat you, you will never taste the fullness of what is meant for you. But if you endure, if you walk through the fire without flinching, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and ready to step into the life that has been waiting for you. Think of Joseph, thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned. It would have been easy for him to give up, to curse God, to believe that his suffering was meaningless, but he endured, he kept believing, he held on to the vision God had given him, and in the appointed time, the very ones who sought to destroy him were the ones who witnessed his exaltation. His pain was necessary for his elevation, and so is yours. You may feel betrayed, you may feel abandoned, but that is not the truth. The truth is that God is setting you apart. He is allowing certain people to leave your life because they cannot go where He is taking you. He is closing certain doors because there is a greater one opening ahead. Do not resist the process. Do not fight what is meant to shape you. Your pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of something new. Everything in this universe responds to faith. When you choose to endure pain with unwavering belief, you shift the entire course of your life. The unseen forces that shape reality begin to move in your favor. The mountains you once thought were immovable begin to crumble. The chains that held you back begin to break, and suddenly you find yourself standing in the manifestation of what you once only dared to dream. Pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to remind you of who you truly are. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. And those who are chosen must be prepared. The trials you face are proof that you have a purpose. Do not let them weaken your resolve. Instead, let them refine your spirit, strengthen your heart, and deepen your faith. You are on the brink of a new reality. Do not turn back now. Stand firm, believe, endure, and watch as God turns your pain into the foundation of your greatest blessing. The storm you are facing is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to awaken you. It is meant to remind you of the power within you, the power that has been sleeping, waiting for the right moment to rise. The pain you feel is not a punishment. It is a call to transformation. Every great change is preceded by discomfort, by suffering, by a moment of breaking. But it is in the breaking that you are made new. It is in the breaking that God reveals His greatest plans for you. Look at your life right now. The struggles, the disappointments, the moments of deep sorrow, they are not meaningless. They are not random. They are leading you to something greater. Do not be deceived into thinking that your suffering is wasted. Nothing is wasted in the hands of God. Every tear you have cried, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, it is all being used to shape you, to prepare you for the life that is waiting for you on the other side of endurance. What if the pain you are enduring right now is the final test before your breakthrough? What if you are one step away from the life you have been praying for? Would you give up now? Would you surrender to fear, to doubt, to exhaustion? Or would you stand firm in your faith, knowing that the promise of God cannot fail? The pain will pass, the hardship will end, but what will remain is who you have become through it. Endurance is not just about surviving the storm. It is about coming out of it stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the divine purpose for your life. If you quit too soon, you will never see what was meant for you. If you give up in the middle of the process, you will never experience the glory of your transformation. The enemy wants you to surrender. He wants you to believe that your suffering is a sign that God has forgotten you, but that is a lie. The very fact that you are facing resistance is proof that you are on the right path. Imagine a seed planted deep in the soil. In the darkness it seems buried, lost, forgotten. But beneath the surface something powerful is happening. The roots are growing, the foundation is being built, and when the time is right, the seed will break through the surface, reaching toward the light. Your pain is not burial, it is planting. You are not being destroyed, you are being positioned. The darkness you feel is not the end, it is the beginning. Look at the greatest stories in history. Every person who walked in their divine calling had to endure pain. Moses had to endure exile before he could lead his people to freedom. David had to endure betrayal and persecution before he could sit on the throne. Even Jesus himself had to endure the cross before the resurrection. Do you think your journey will be any different? Do you think you will reach your destiny without trials, without hardship, without suffering? No. But you will endure, and you will rise. And when you do, you will see that every moment of pain was worth it. Pain is temporary. Purpose is eternal. The suffering you experience today is shaping you into the person who will carry the blessings of tomorrow. You cannot be weak and carry a great destiny. You cannot be fragile and fulfill the calling on your life. That is why God allows the breaking, the refining, the endurance. He is strengthening you. Look beyond what your eyes can see. If you focus only on the pain, you will miss the purpose. If you focus only on the hardship, you will miss the growth. Shift your perspective. See your suffering as the fire that refines gold. See your trials as the chisel that carves the masterpiece. Do not resist the process. Do not curse the storm. The very thing you wish would go away is the thing that will elevate you to the next level. Faith is not needed when everything is easy. Faith is required when everything seems impossible. When the path ahead is unclear, when the weight of life feels unbearable, that is when faith must rise. And faith is not just believing that God exists. Faith is knowing that His promises are true, even when circumstances say otherwise. Faith is standing in the fire and declaring, I will not be consumed. Faith is looking at the mountain in front of you and saying, it will move. God is changing your situation. Even now, as you listen to these words, He is moving behind the scenes. You may not see it yet, but it is happening. The connections, the opportunities, the healing, the restoration, it is all unfolding. But you must endure. You must not abandon your faith. If you could see what is coming, you would not be afraid. If you could glimpse the future God has prepared for you, you would not doubt. Your present pain is shaping your future strength. What once broke you will become the testimony that strengthens others. What once made you cry will become the story that inspires thousands. The pain you are enduring is not just for you. It is for those who will one day hear your story and find hope in it. You were never meant to live an average life. That is why your path has not been easy. That is why you have faced battles others could not withstand. You are chosen, and the chosen must be tested. The chosen must be refined. The chosen must endure. Do not compare your journey to others. What God is doing in your life is unique. Your trials are not meant to break you, they are meant to set you apart. The deeper the pain, the greater the purpose. The longer the waiting, the bigger the blessing. It is not over for you. No matter what you have lost, no matter how tired you feel, no matter how impossible things seem, this is not the end. God is still writing your story. What seems like a delay is actually divine preparation. What seems like rejection is actually redirection. Every no you have received is leading you to a greater yes. Let this truth settle in your spirit. You are not alone. Even in the silence, God is with you. Even in the darkness, He sees you. Even in the suffering, He is holding you. He has not forgotten His promises to you. He has not abandoned you. He is strengthening you for what is to come. One day soon, you will look back on this season and understand why you had to endure. You will see the beauty in the struggle. You will realize that nothing was wasted. Every tear, every prayer, every moment of waiting, it all had a purpose. And when you step into the manifestation of what you have been believing for, you will know that it was all worth it. So stand firm, keep believing, keep enduring. What is coming is greater than what you have lost. What is ahead of you is beyond what you can imagine. The pain you feel today will become the strength you carry tomorrow. Hold on, the best is yet to come. You have endured pain, but that pain was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to shape you. Every trial, every hardship, every moment of suffering has been a necessary step toward your transformation. God is not punishing you, He is preparing you. He is strengthening you, stretching your faith, and positioning you for the breakthrough that is already unfolding. Hold on to your faith. Do not waver. Do not let temporary suffering make you doubt eternal promises. What you are facing now is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of something greater than you can imagine. The struggles of today are shaping the victories of tomorrow. The tears you have cried will one day turn into shouts of joy. Keep walking, keep believing, keep enduring. What is ahead is far greater than what is behind. The blessing is coming, the breakthrough is near, and when it arrives, you will look back and understand that every moment of pain was worth it. Stay faithful. Stay strong. Your story is not over yet. God is still writing it. There is a power working behind the scenes of your life, orchestrating events, shifting circumstances, and aligning everything in perfect order. Even when it seems like nothing is happening, even when the road appears blocked, understand that the divine hand is at work. You may not see it, but it is moving. You may not feel it, but it is unfolding. The delays, the waiting, the moments of uncertainty, they are not signs of abandonment. They are part of the preparation for something greater. You must trust in the unseen, for that is where the true work of creation takes place. The walls that stand before you, the obstacles that seem immovable, they are illusions compared to the power within you. When the right time comes, they will crumble effortlessly. When the moment is right, a way will be made where there seemed to be no way. That which appeared impossible will become your reality, and you will stand in awe at how perfectly everything aligned. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. It is not about forcing things to happen, but about knowing deep within that they already have. You must speak as if it is done, think as if it is done, walk as if it is done. There is no begging, no pleading, only certainty. For when you understand the nature of the divine, you realize that there has never been a moment when you were not being guided, not being provided for, not being loved. Your circumstances do not define the outcome, your belief does. Do not be shaken by appearances, for they are temporary. What is eternal is the promise that has been placed upon your life. When you hold on to this truth, when you refuse to be swayed by doubt, you align yourself with the inevitable fulfillment of that promise. And then, suddenly, effortlessly, the doors open, the way appears, the light shines through. All that is required of you is to remain steadfast. Do not waver. Do not let fear dictate your reality. Let your heart be filled with the knowing that God is moving, and the breakthrough you seek is already making its way to you. It will not delay, it will not be hindered. It is coming, it is done. There is a divine order to all things, an unseen rhythm that governs the universe. Though the mind seeks evidence, though the eyes long to witness change, faith moves beyond the realm of sight. It is in the quiet surrender, in the unwavering conviction, that the manifestation unfolds. When you walk with the certainty that God is at work, you no longer question when or how, because you already know that the way has been prepared before you even asked. In moments of despair, when the weight of your burdens feels unbearable, remember this: the answer is already on its way. The very thing you are longing for, the very change you seek, is not distant, it is near, waiting for you to align with its presence. God does not delay. There is no hesitation in divine timing. The only delay exists in the mind that wavers, in the heart that doubts, in the hands that hesitate to receive what has already been given. When you find yourself in the middle of the storm, when everything around you seems to be falling apart, do not mistake it for chaos. It is transformation. The old must dissolve to make way for the new. The limitations that once held you captive are being stripped away, not to leave you empty, but to prepare you for something greater. The discomfort you feel is not a sign of failure, it is the shaking of all that is no longer meant to be in your life. And when the shaking ends, what remains will be the foundation of your new reality. Hold your vision, keep your faith unwavering. Even when the night seems endless, even when there is no visible sign of change, do not let your heart be troubled. God is moving, shifting the pieces, aligning the perfect sequence of events that will bring you exactly where you are meant to be. What seems like delay is merely preparation. If you were to receive your blessing too soon, it would not be fully formed. If the door were to open before its time, you would not be ready to walk through it. Trust in divine timing, for it is never late, never early, but always perfect. The mind often clings to the how, to the need for logical steps, for visible proof, for reassurance. But faith is not built on proof. Faith is built on the knowing that what has been promised will surely come to pass. When you truly understand this, you let go of the need to control, to manipulate circumstances, to chase after things that are already meant for you. You enter a state of stillness, of trust, of expectancy, and in that space, the impossible becomes possible. Do not fear when everything seems uncertain. Do not be discouraged when doors close. The divine does not make mistakes. Every redirection, every delay, every moment of stillness is part of a larger design. You are being led even when it seems like you are standing still. The hands that form the universe, that set the stars in motion, that breathe life into all things, those same hands are guiding you, holding you, preparing the way for you. The power that created all things resides within you. It is not separate from you. It is not distant. It is here, now, waiting for you to recognize it, to trust in it, to allow it to work through you. The moment you shift your perspective, the moment you stop looking outward for answers and start looking within, everything begins to change. Your reality begins to shift. The walls that once stood before you begin to crumble. The opportunities you once chased after begin to seek you. The things you once longed for begin to appear effortlessly. You must speak as if it is already done. You must think, act, and live in the vibration of certainty. The words you speak, the thoughts you entertain, the emotions you allow into your heart, these are the seeds of your reality. When you speak of lack, you create lack. When you speak of struggle, you prolong the struggle. But when you speak of abundance, when you declare victory, when you affirm that the way has already been made, you step into alignment with that truth. God does not withhold. There is no reluctance in divine giving. Every blessing, every breakthrough, every miracle is already available to you, but you must be willing to receive. You must let go of doubt, release fear, and make room in your heart for what is already yours. When you stop questioning whether it will happen and start living as if it already has, you unlock the doors that once seemed closed. You remove the barriers that were never placed there by God, but only by your own disbelief. There is a moment when everything shifts, a moment when what seemed impossible becomes undeniable, a moment when what you once struggled for appears before you effortlessly. That moment is not in the future, it is now. The only thing that stands between you and the fulfillment of your desire is your willingness to believe, not to hope, not to wish, but to know with every fiber of your being that it is already done. You do not need to see the full picture to trust the process. You do not need to understand how it will unfold to walk in faith. Your only task is to align yourself with the truth that God is moving on your behalf. To wake up each day with gratitude, knowing that what you have asked for is already making its way to you. To let go of struggle, to release resistance, to rest in the certainty that all things are working together for your good. There is a divine promise over your life. and nothing can cancel it. No circumstance, no setback, no delay can change what has already been written. When you hold on to this truth, when you refuse to be shaken, you step into a life of miracles. A life where doors open effortlessly, where opportunities find you, where blessings flow freely. This is not wishful thinking, it is a law, the law that governs all creation, the law that moves mountains, the law that brings the unseen into the seen. God is making a way for you. Even now, even in this moment, things are shifting. The pieces are falling into place. What you thought was lost is being restored. What you thought was over is only just beginning. The breakthrough you have been waiting for is already here. You need only to open your heart and receive it. There is a divine force moving through all things, shaping reality, orchestrating every event with precision. It does not operate according to human time, nor does it conform to human logic. It moves in its own perfect rhythm, unseen but undeniable. Even when you feel abandoned, even when the waiting seems endless, the process is unfolding exactly as it should. What appears as stillness is not inactivity. What seems like delay is not denial. It is preparation, alignment, and the careful weaving of circumstances that will bring you into the fulfillment of what has already been promised. You must come to understand that faith is not in what you see, but in what you know to be true. It is not in waiting for proof, but in walking in the certainty that the unseen is just as real, if not more so, than what is visible. The most powerful shifts happen long before they are recognized in the physical world. They take root in the unseen, in the formless, in the depths of consciousness, where all things begin. The moment you accept this, you will no longer wait anxiously for change to appear. You will walk in the assurance that it is already done. There is no obstacle that can stand against divine will. No force, no delay, no seeming setback can alter the course that has been set for you. When you align with this truth, you stop resisting, you stop questioning whether it will happen, and you start living as if it already has. This is the key to receiving, to step into the feeling of fulfillment before the manifestation arrives, to know deep within your being that what is meant for you is already yours. The mind wants to doubt, to analyze, to demand evidence. But faith operates outside of reason. It does not need logic to function. It only needs belief. Every moment you spend in worry is a moment you are pushing your blessing away. Every thought of lack, every complaint, every doubt sends a signal that you do not truly believe in the promise. And yet the moment you shift, the moment you replace doubt with certainty, things begin to change. Doors begin to open effortlessly. People, opportunities, and resources begin to find you, drawn to the vibration of your unwavering faith. This is not coincidence. It is law. The same law that governs the rising of the sun, the movement of the stars, the breath in your lungs. You must begin to see beyond appearances. What looks like an ending is often a new beginning. What feels like loss is often a setup for something greater. God does not take without the intention to give something far beyond what you could imagine. There are moments when everything must be stripped away so that you can be prepared for what is coming. The discomfort you feel is not punishment. It is transformation. It is the shedding of what no longer serves you, so that you may step into what has always been meant for you. Do not despair when things do not unfold as expected. The human mind is limited, unable to comprehend the vastness of divine design. What you see as rejection may be redirection. What you see as delay may be protection. If you only knew what was being prepared for you, you would not spend another second in doubt. You would walk with confidence, with gratitude, with an unshakable knowing that all is unfolding in divine perfection. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked. Every prayer has been heard, every silent tear has been seen. There is nothing you have gone through that is unnoticed by the divine. The struggles, the disappointments, the moments of deep uncertainty, they are all part of the process. They are not meant to break you, but to refine you, to mold you, to prepare you for what is coming. And what is coming is far greater than you can imagine. Your role in this process is not to force, not to chase, not to beg for what is already yours. Your role is to align, to trust, to step into the frequency of certainty. When you shift your focus from fear to faith, you begin to see evidence of divine movement everywhere. Small signs, unexpected blessings, moments of clarity, they are all reminders that you are being guided. The way is being made. The provision is already in place. Stop looking at the size of the obstacle and start looking at the size of the power within you. Stop speaking of lack, of limitation, of struggle. Speak as if the victory is already won. Walk as if the doors are already open. Carry yourself as if the promise has already been fulfilled. This is the mindset that moves mountains. This is the faith that brings miracles into reality. Nothing in your past can disqualify you from what is meant for you. No mistake, no failure, no missed opportunity can cancel the plan that has been written for your life. The divine does not operate in human judgment. It does not keep a record of wrongs. It only sees your potential, your purpose, your destiny. The only thing standing between you and your blessing is your willingness to believe that you are worthy of it. Let go of the need to understand every step. Let go of the urge to control the process. You do not need to see how it will happen. You only need to know that it will. The timing is perfect. The unfolding is flawless. What is meant for you cannot miss you. And when the moment comes, when everything aligns, when the doors open in a way that only the divine could orchestrate, you will look back and see that it was never about the waiting. It was about the becoming. You are being shaped, strengthened, prepared. Every challenge, every delay, every test has been refining you for this moment. The person you are becoming is the person who will receive what is coming. The faith you are developing is the foundation upon which your blessing will rest. Nothing is wasted. Every experience, every lesson, every moment of struggle has been necessary to bring you to where you are now. Open your heart. Release the weight of doubt. Step into the knowing that everything is unfolding in divine perfection. The way is being made. The breakthrough is already here. The only thing left to do is receive. Do not let the illusion of delay make you question the certainty of what is already done. There is a divine intelligence moving on your behalf, orchestrating every event in your favor, positioning you exactly where you need to be. Even now, forces unseen are aligning circumstances, preparing people, shifting realities to ensure that what belongs to you reaches you in perfect timing. The mind may question, the heart may grow weary, but the spirit knows. It knows that every delay is divine strategy, every challenge is divine preparation, every test is building the faith required to sustain what is coming. When doubt creeps in, silence it with truth. When fear rises, replace it with trust. You were never meant to carry the weight of worry. You were never meant to figure out the details of how and when. Your role is to trust, to believe, to hold steadfast in the certainty that God is making a way, even when you see no way. Faith is not about seeing the path clearly. It is about taking the next step, even in darkness, knowing that the ground will meet you. It is about trusting that the doors will open as you walk, not before. Many give up too soon. They allow the voice of fear to drown out the whispers of faith. They retreat just before the breakthrough. They question just before the miracle. Do not be one of them. Stand firm in the knowing that your life is unfolding according to a divine script. No force on earth can alter what has been written for you. No opposition can cancel what has been declared in the heavens. You are moving toward fulfillment, not by your own effort, but by divine decree. God's timing is not yours. The moment you surrender to this truth, you release yourself from the torment of impatience. You stop looking at clocks and calendars. You stop measuring progress with human eyes. Instead, you step into divine flow, knowing that nothing is delayed, nothing is lost, nothing is beyond redemption. Even what seemed to have been taken from you will be restored in a way that only divine hands could orchestrate. The blessings prepared for you are not diminishing, they are increasing, multiplying, becoming even greater than you imagined. You may feel as if you have been walking through a desert, waiting for rain, searching for signs. But what if the dryness is not a sign of lack but a test of trust? What if the waiting is not punishment but preparation? What if the very thing you are longing for is being perfected so that when it arrives, it is not just good but divine? God does not give halfway. He does not deliver promises in incomplete form. When He moves completely, abundantly, exceedingly, beyond what you could ever ask or think. That is why you must be careful with your words, your thoughts, your expectations. Do not declare lack when abundance is being formed. Do not speak doubt when faith is required. Your words shape your reality. Your beliefs shape your outcome. Speak as if the way is already made. Walk as if the promise is already fulfilled. Carry yourself as if the victory is already won. This is not pretending, it is positioning. This is not imagination, it is alignment. The moment you align with the truth of your divine destiny, everything around you begins to shift. Stop looking to people for confirmation. Stop waiting for the world to validate what has already been declared over your life. They cannot see what you see. They do not know what you know. Your vision is yours alone. The dream placed within you was not given to them, it was given to you. That is why they may doubt. That is why they may not understand. But you do not need their understanding. You do not need their approval. You only need to walk in faith, knowing that what is unseen is just as real as what is seen. The divine does not need permission to bless you. It does not require the agreement of others to move on your behalf. When the time comes, it will happen suddenly. It will appear as if from nowhere, though in truth it has been forming all along. The shift will be undeniable. The doors will swing open effortlessly. The very things that once seemed impossible will become reality in ways you could never have orchestrated on your own. And when it happens, you will know. It was never by your striving, never by your strength, but by divine will. That is why you must not shrink. Do not lower your expectations. Do not settle for less than what has been placed in your spirit. What you desire is not too big. What you dream of is not impossible. It has already been written. It has already been prepared. You do not need to chase it. You only need to become the version of yourself who is ready to receive it. The transformation is not in the outside world. It is within you. The moment you shift, the moment you truly believe, the moment you align, everything around you will respond. There is no force stronger than faith. There is no power greater than divine decree. The moment you release fear, release doubt, release hesitation, you make space for miracles. You make space for breakthroughs. You make space for the fulfillment of every promise. The divine is not limited by circumstances. It is not restricted by time. It is not bound by human logic. It moves according to a higher law, a law that cannot be broken, a law that ensures that what is meant for you will reach you, no matter what. So stand firm, walk boldly, speak with certainty, live in gratitude, not for what you hope will come, but for what you know is already done. The way is being made, the breakthrough is already here. The only thing left to do is receive. There comes a time in every person's life when it feels like all hope is lost, when the road ahead is filled with obstacles and uncertainty. You may be standing at a crossroad, unsure of which path to take. Perhaps you have been working tirelessly, doing everything right, but the fruits of your labor seem to be nowhere in sight. You may feel weary, tired, and perhaps even forgotten. But I want to tell you today that God is never far from you. In fact, He is closer than you think, and He is about to show up in a way that will change everything. You see, God's timing is perfect. It's not always in alignment with our own timing, but it is always exactly when it needs to be. You may be struggling to see the end of your trials, but the truth is that God works behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of your life. Even when you cannot see Him, He is there, quietly working, preparing the way, making sure that everything will unfold just as it should. It is easy to doubt when things aren't going as we hoped. We look at the circumstances, we listen to the voices of doubt, and we question whether we will ever make it through. But I want to remind you of this. God will make a way for you even when there seems to be no way. He is the creator of all things, the one who spoke the world into existence. There is nothing that is too difficult for him. He can move mountains, he can part seas, he can open doors that no man can shut, and he is about to do that for you. You may not see it yet, but God is working on your behalf. He is aligning things in your life, preparing the right people, opening the right doors, and positioning you for the breakthrough you've been waiting for. When God moves, it's always in a way that surpasses our understanding. You may not have the full picture right now, but rest assured that God is piecing it all together in His perfect time. Your breakthrough is coming. Your way is being made. What you need to do in this moment is trust. Trust that God sees your struggles, He hears your cries, and He knows exactly what you need. Even in the silence, God is working. Even when you feel like nothing is changing, trust that He is making a way for you. You are not alone in this journey. Every step you take, every prayer you utter, God is walking with you, guiding you and preparing the path before you. It's important to remember that God doesn't need our help to make a way. Our part is to stay faithful, to trust in His ability to move mountains in our favor, to remain patient as we wait for His perfect timing. Don't let doubt steal your peace. Don't let fear cloud your vision. God is always working in the background, and He will show up for you, and when He does, you will know that it was only by His hand that you were able to overcome. So if you are facing challenges today, take heart. Know that God is about to reveal Himself in a mighty way in your life. He is making a way for you in ways you cannot yet comprehend. When He moves, you will see that everything was leading to this moment. Your breakthrough will not only meet your needs, but it will exceed your expectations. Hold on, trust, and know that the way is being made for you even now. Keep your faith strong, for the time of your miracle is near. The road may seem dark, and the weight of the world may be pressing down on your shoulders. But even in the midst of the storm, even when everything seems uncertain, there is a truth that you must hold on to. God is working, and He is preparing to make a way for you. Often we get caught up in the struggles, in the disappointments, in the waiting. But I want to tell you today that the waiting is never in vain. God is not idle during this time. He is preparing something far greater than you can imagine. In our limited human understanding, we tend to focus on what we can see in front of us. We look at the circumstances, we measure the distance from where we are to where we want to be, and we often come to the conclusion that it is simply impossible. We wonder, how can things change? How can the breakthrough happen? How will my circumstances shift in my favor? The answer is simple. God, the creator of the universe, is working for your good. His power is limitless, and His plans are far beyond our understanding. What may seem impossible to you is nothing for Him. The path you see is blocked, the doors you believe are closed, He can open. When He makes a way, no one can stand in His way. To the moments in Scripture when God moved in seemingly impossible situations. When Moses stood at the edge of the Red Sea with the Egyptian army closing in behind him, what did he see? He saw nothing but water in front of him and enemies closing in from behind. In the natural, there was no way forward. But God told Moses to lift his staff, and in that moment the sea parted. What seemed impossible was made possible. When God makes a way for you, He does not operate within the limits of what we can see or understand. He is not bound by what you think is possible. Just as He made a way for Moses, He is making a way for you. There is no situation too big, no obstacle too insurmountable, no problem too great for God to overcome. You may look at your life and see no clear path forward, but know this: God sees a way when there is none. He is arranging things in the unseen realm, lining up circumstances, preparing the hearts of the people who need to be in your life, and opening doors at just the right time, even when you cannot see the evidence of it. Trust that He is working, and in His time, everything will fall into place. Trust is key here. When the storm rages and when the path is unclear, trust in God's ability to make a way. You do not have to have all the answers, and you do not need to know every step ahead. What you need to do is trust that God, who knows the end from the beginning, is already ahead of you, preparing your future. There is peace in knowing that He is the one who goes before you, that He is the one who will make a way when you cannot see one. In those moments of doubt, remind yourself of the promises God has spoken over your life. He promises that He will never leave you nor forsake you. He promises that He will make all things work together for your good. He promises that if you trust in Him with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, He will direct your path. His word is a lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path. When you trust in Him, you are not walking in the darkness. He is guiding you, and He will lead you to the right place at the right time. As you wait, as you trust, remember that God's ways are not our ways. The way He works may not make sense to us in the moment, but He is always faithful to His promises. Sometimes He may take you down a path you didn't expect. Sometimes He may close a door you thought was the right one, but rest assured that He is only guiding you toward the door that is meant for you. He is only protecting you from things you may not yet understand. He sees the bigger picture, and He is leading you exactly where you need to go. When you are at the brink of giving up, when you are tempted to believe that it is all in vain, that nothing will ever change, remember this. God is never early, and He is never late. He is always on time. He is never in a hurry, but He is always right on schedule. Even if the process feels long and the wait feels endless, know that God is working behind the scenes. He is preparing the way, even in the moments when you cannot see any movement. Your breakthrough is coming, even if it's not coming in the way you thought it would. There is power in persistence. There is power in holding on when the circumstances try to tell you to let go. It is in the waiting that your faith grows. It is in the waiting that your trust in God deepens. Every moment you spend waiting on Him is a moment He is refining your heart, preparing you for what is to come. He is not wasting your time. He is preparing you for a future that is greater than anything you could have ever imagined. Sometimes the most difficult part is simply trusting when the way ahead seems unclear. But God's silence is not His absence. Even when you don't hear Him, He is still working. Even when you feel abandoned, He is still with you. The fact that you cannot see the answer doesn't mean it isn't on its way. It is easy to get discouraged when you feel like God is silent or distant, but the truth is that He is closer than ever, and He is about to reveal His plan in ways that will leave you in awe. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. I want you to understand that God's provision isn't always in the form we expect. He doesn't always show up in the way we want Him to, but He will show up, and He will make a way, in a way that will glorify His name and benefit you in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Trust that what is about to unfold will be exactly what you need. He knows your heart. He knows the desires of your soul, and He will provide what is best for you. God is not a man that He should lie, nor the Son of Man that He should repent. If He said He will make a way for you, He will. If He said He would provide for you, He will. If He said He would guide you, He will. You can count on it. Your part is to stay faithful, to keep your trust in Him, and to know that the way will open at the right time. So when you feel like you can't go on, when you feel like your circumstances are hopeless, I want you to remember this. God is working on your behalf even when you cannot see it. He is preparing a way for you, and it will be in His time and in His perfect way. Trust in that. Trust that He has already gone before you and is making a way where there seems to be no way. Hold on to hope, for your miracle is coming. It is just around the corner. When life feels overwhelming, when everything seems impossible and the weight of the world presses down on you, it is easy to feel like there is no way forward. Perhaps you have prayed, hoped, and tried your best, yet the breakthrough has not come. The path ahead may seem shrouded in darkness, and doubt may begin to cloud your mind. But even in the darkest moments, when it feels like all is lost, it is important to remember this one truth. God is working even when you can't see it, and He is about to make a way for you. God has never been bound by what you can see. His power is not limited by your circumstances. His wisdom does not adhere to the limitations of human understanding. He is the creator of the heavens and the earth, and everything that exists is subject to his authority. When he says he will make a way, he is not speaking from a place of uncertainty. He is speaking with absolute power and authority. No matter how impossible your situation seems, know this: God is about to show up for you in a way you never expected. What we often fail to see in our moments of struggle is that God's plan is far bigger than what we can understand. When we are in the middle of the storm, it is hard to see beyond the clouds. But even in the midst of the storm, God is shaping, molding, and preparing things for our good. He does not operate on our timeline, but he is always on time. The waiting may be long, and the process may be painful, but every moment of waiting is preparation. God is preparing you, strengthening you, and aligning things in the unseen realms to bring you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. It is easy to become disheartened when we look at our circumstances and think that nothing is changing. We begin to doubt if God is really listening to our prayers. We start to wonder if we are forgotten. But let me tell you this: God is never late. His timing is always perfect. You may not see the path ahead, but that doesn't mean it's not being prepared for you. You may not know how or when your breakthrough will come, but you can trust that God is already making a way. What you cannot see in the natural is already being set in motion in the spiritual. God is not a God of confusion. He is a God of order, of purpose, and of perfect timing. Just as he spoke the world into existence and set the stars in the sky, he is orchestrating every detail of your life. The very circumstances you find yourself in today are part of a much larger picture. You may not understand it now, but everything is leading up to something greater. Every struggle you face is part of the process, and every delay is an opportunity for God to position you exactly where you need to be. The way may not seem clear to you, but God is already preparing the path. He is opening doors you can't yet see and aligning circumstances in ways that will surprise you. When we talk about God making a way, it's not just about opening doors. It's about removing obstacles that seem insurmountable. It's about transforming impossible situations into opportunities. Think about how he parted the Red Sea for the Israelites. On one side, they were being pursued by their enemies. On the other side, there was no escape, just water, deep and vast. But when God spoke, the sea parted, creating a way where there seemed to be none. The Israelites walked through on dry land with walls of water standing on either side of them. That's the kind of power we're talking about here. What looks like a dead end, what looks impossible, is nothing in the hands of the one who created the world. Just as God parted the Red Sea, he will make a way for you. He will part the waters in your life, and he will guide you to dry land. The same God who calms the storm and commands the wind will command your circumstances. Even when it feels like you are surrounded by problems and challenges, trust that God is working in ways you cannot see. The way may be blocked now, but it won't stay that way forever. God's plan is always in motion, even when you can't perceive it. In the waiting, remember that you are not alone. You are not walking this journey by yourself. God is with you every step of the way. Even when you don't see his hand moving, it is still there, working behind the scenes. The delay is not a sign of abandonment. It is part of the divine process. God's delays are not denials. Just because things are not happening on your timeline doesn't mean they won't happen at all. In fact, the more you trust, the more you will see that God's timing is always perfect. He knows exactly when the right doors will open. He knows exactly when you will need the breakthrough. He knows exactly what is needed to get you to the place you are destined for. What you must remember is that God doesn't operate by human logic. He doesn't need your permission, your understanding, or your timing to move. When he decides to show up, he will do it in a way that surpasses your expectations. The miracle you're waiting for might not come the way you think it should, but it will come, and it will be exactly what you need. In times of uncertainty, it's important to keep your focus on God's promises. What has he promised you? Has He promised you peace? He will give it. Has He promised you provision? It's already on the way. Has He promised you protection? He is watching over you right now. No matter what the world may tell you, God's word is the truth. His promises never failed. When He says He will make a way, He will. When He says He will provide for you, He will. When He says He will heal you, He will. But the key is trust. Trust that He knows what is best for you. Trust that He is working in ways that you cannot yet understand. Trust that the way He is making for you is exactly the way you need to go. The moment you let go of the fear, the anxiety, and the doubt is the moment you allow room for God to work. Trust is the currency of the kingdom of God. Without faith, it is impossible to please Him. With faith, all things are possible. When you trust God, you open the door for Him to move in your life. In your moments of doubt, remember that God has always made a way for His people. Time and time again throughout Scripture, God has shown up for those who trusted in Him. He showed up for Noah when He told him to build an ark in the middle of a dry land with no rain in sight. He showed up for Abraham when He told him to leave his country and his family and go to a land He would show him. He showed up for Daniel when he was thrown into the lion's den, and He showed up for Paul when he was imprisoned. God has never failed those who trust in Him, and He will not fail you either. It is in the waiting that your faith grows. It is in the waiting that you are refined, strengthened, and prepared for what is to come. God does not waste time, and He does not waste anything in your life. Every trial, every waiting period, every challenge is shaping you, preparing you, and positioning you for the moment when He will make a way. It is in the waiting that He does His greatest work. Trust that even when you don't see the progress, He is moving. Even when you feel stuck, He is positioning you for the breakthrough. So whatever it is that you are facing today, whatever challenge or obstacle seems insurmountable, know that God is about to make a way. The breakthrough is on its way. The doors are about to open. The seas are about to part, and the way will be clear. Trust in His timing, trust in His plan, and know that your God is making a way for you right now. Hold on to hope, for the way is coming. In conclusion, no matter how difficult the path may seem, and no matter how long the wait feels, remember that God's timing is always perfect. When He says He will make a way, He will. The challenges and obstacles you face today are not the end of your story. They are part of the process of preparing you for the breakthrough that is just ahead. Trust in God's plan, trust in His promises, and trust in His ability to transform any situation. He is working behind the scenes, even when you cannot see it, and He will show up for you in ways beyond your imagination. Keep your faith strong, keep your heart open, and know that the way is already being made. Whatever you are facing, know that God will make a way for you very soon.